Now, I turned off the recording because I got here a little bit early, so I had to figure out how to start it back. How's everybody doing this morning? Good to have everyone on, and we have about 3 minutes before we start. So I'm very excited. Got a lot of exciting things happen. We had a storm last night, and it lightning struck the transformer in my yard, and so we were without electricity for a little while, and I got it fixed. But anyway, don't read anything to this, but my stove is not working, and I've been wanting a new one with the double oven. So I'm all happy. Travis is in there trying to fix the stove, and I'm out here praying he don't get it fixed. Anyway. So I've had bronchitis, and so if I go into a coughing jack, I got all my cough drops here. I'll just turn off the sound for a minute. But anyway, we're going to wait just 2 minutes, and then we'll start. Good to see everybody. I have to not laugh when he comes out here. Okay. All right, let's get started. So we're in a new month, fairly new month. This is only the 5th, and I think the $10 enrollment will end today, but we have something else coming that's going to be awesome. So I'm excited about it too. So don't say poor Travis. I need a double oven. So I'm excited about what's coming. And so, but today I'm just gonna try to motivate us a little bit, and then I may give a few assignments. But first, I just wanted to share. I got some notes. Was going over some books of a meeting that I went to a couple years ago, and this was from $1 Million Earners that taught at this meeting, and I had written down some notes, and so I was going over these books this week, and there are several little things in it that stood out to me, so I'm going to share some of that with you. I know some of y'all have heard my story, and I sound like a broken record, but whenever I started True Vision, one of the things that we were told was get your story and tell it and tell it and tell it and tell it. And I went to, at first, when we first started out, Angel and Ryan were the ones that were having the meetings the most, and they're fairly close to me. They're only like an hour and a half away. So I was going to a lot of their meetings, their weekly meetings, and they told the same story over and over and over and over until we all knew they were marked by that story. And so I'm going to give you a little bit more about my story, and then I'm going to give you a few pointers of what has motivated me. One thing is, from the very first, Angel, one of her very, very first things I remember Angel saying is, be unstoppable. And I've tried to put that in my business. Nothing is going to stop me. I'm very, very computer handicapped. I mean, I was a seamstress for 32 years, and so I really didn't have a need for a computer. Now, my brothers, they're excellent with computers. 2 of them can build computers, and they know everything about them, but I did not do that. I can take a sewing machine apart and help fix it and oil it and do all that, but that's where my life was at for 32 years, not on a computer. So whenever I started True Vision, I was very, very handicapped because I don't know very much about computers, but I decided that that would not stop me. And so I've learned what I need to know about the computer to be able to work my business. I've not let that stop me at all. I've cried a lot, and I've worried my brothers to death, but it didn't matter to me. I mean, if I worried them, it was okay to me because it was getting what I needed to get my business going. And so another thing that I learned early in life is when I first started my custom sewing business, the first really big job that I landed was in New Orleans, and it was a big hotel. And when I went down there, my brother was down there cleaning carpet, and he called and he said, "Hey, Darla, they need a seamstress. Are you interested?" And I said, "Yes." Me and my mom took off. We had 2 hours to get down there, and it's about 2 hours from us. And so we went, and on the way, I was talking with my mom, and she said, "Okay, the one thing that you cannot do." And I can't make pinch pleat drapes. I can make them. I can put them together. I can cut them, all that, but I don't know how to pleat them. And that's the only thing that I won't do is pinch pleat drapes. Well, when I got down there, what they wanted was pinch pleat drapes. And so whenever the guy told me, the work order told me what they expected and all that, I just told him sure. And I wouldn't look at my mom because we had the conversation on the way down there, not know how to pleat drapes. And so on the way home, I accepted the job. On the way home, Mom asked me, "What are you going to do about the pinch pleat drapes?" And I said, "I'm going to learn how to make them." And so I came home. I called a lady. I was helping doing some custom sewing. I would put the drapes together, and she would pleat them. So I just called her and I said, "Hey, Miss Kathleen, I need to know how to pleat drapes." She said, "Okay, come to the shop." And I went to the shop. She showed me how, and I went home and I worked and I practiced with a scrap piece of fabric until I got that down pat. And pinch pleat drapes become my specialty. But if whenever I heard Mr. Winter say, "Well, we want pinch pleat drapes," if I had stopped right there, I would have never accomplished that job. And it was one of my biggest jobs, and it was my first really, really big job. So what I'm saying is, do not let anything stop you. I'm not good with words, good at talking to people. But for this business, I have had to try to help myself. And I promise you, if you are not doing self-help every day for 15 to 30 minutes, you need to make sure you're doing it. You can find a lot of stuff on YouTube. You can find books to read, but I wish I had started sooner or earlier with the self-help. It is very, very important for this business. So just work on yourself. I mean, I hate to speak. I hate to be up front. I hate to talk in front of people. I'm not good with crowds, but I've learned to do all that because that's what's important for my business. So be unstoppable. And so one thing that I have written down on this paper is our human minds are designed to complicate things more than what they really are. Don't overthink the process. So a lot of times when we'll think, "Oh, that is so complicated," or "Oh, I can't do that." The first thing we think of is, "Oh, not me." If it's an assignment or whatever, not me. But don't overthink it. Just take it one step at a time, and you can do more than what you really think you can do. Don't overthink the process. Don't make it complicated. Just take it one step at a time, and you can do more than you really think you can do. Another thing that I thought about is in order to fill a part, you have to be a part. And in this business, you have to be a part in order to succeed. And you also have to fill a part. So one way is if you're never on a call, if you're never in the team chat, if you're never in the group working, if you never go to a meeting, if you never participate, if you're an island to yourself, you're not going to fill a part because you're not a part. You're not being a part. So in order to be a part or to fill a part, you have to be a part. So I know a lot of you have to have other jobs also. I understand that. Until I made 4-Star, I had a full-time business. And so I worked that business every single day. I worked for 5 decorators and had deadlines to meet. So I know what it is to have to juggle your time, but how important is it to you? I promise you, if you will put forth the effort and put the time into it, it will come. It will come about. I never dreamed when I started this. I never dreamed that I would sell Trivision. I was taking it for my health, but time went on and I saw what I could do. Then it became important to me and it started driving me. So if you don't have the drive yet for your business, try to look for it. Think about, why are you doing what you're doing? What is your why? Think about that. My why is our retirement. Right now, at first my why was but Trivision has helped me with that. But now my why is our retirement. And so up until I made 4-star, I worked every week. I worked untold hours sewing for 5 decorators. But every break, I would grab my phones and look at Facebook and go through my groups and get in my chat. On my dinner break, a lot of times I didn't eat. I grabbed my phone and I worked. After I got through at the office or at the shop sewing, I took off to the house, grabbed my computer, and got busy. I worked all hours of the night. I would sleep a couple hours and get up and work a couple of hours because it was driving me. So what is driving you? What if you don't have a drive, then you need to stop, sit down, think about why you're doing what you're doing. If you haven't written your goals down, you need to do that. And this is another thing, is I had heard over and over and over when I first started, write your goals down, set goals and write them down. But I didn't think it was important. So I never did that. And finally, one day when I realized that I needed to evaluate what I was doing, when I realized that, I sat down, I stopped, I decided what is my why. I wrote that down, and then I wrote my goals down. When I did that is when my business took off. So if you do not have a dream board, or you don't have your goals written down, put them everywhere. I posted mine on my refrigerator. I put one on my desk. I put one by my soul. Put one on my cutting table. I had my goals written everywhere so I could see them every day. Until you do that, it's going to be hard for you to move up because you don't have a goal. You have to have a goal. And if you want to set a small goal, set a small goal, reach that goal, and then set another one. Don't set a gigantic goal to begin with, but go with smaller goals. When you do that, you'll start moving. So here's your why. Write it down. Write your goal down. And if you're not driven, then look for something that will drive you to get your business going. I'm telling y'all, right now is our busy season. Right now is the time to build your business, to rank, to get ready for the slower months. Now it is busting wide open. We've got greater things coming. I mean, unbelievable things coming. I think it's either 6 or 7 new products that we should have by, I think it's August. It's this year. We'll have them. And I know what 3 or 4 of them are. They're unbelievable. So now is the time. So write your goals down. Be driven. Think about why you're doing this. Get involved. Be a part. Another thing is, a lot of times we as team members depend on leaders to do everything. So like we sit there and we say, and I'm guilty, so I can say this, but like, motivate me. Tell me exactly what to do next. Find out what's working. You know, give me every piece of information that I need. You give it to me and I'll do it. But that's not how it is. As a team member, a team works together. So you be the one that comes up with the next good idea, or you be the one that comes up with the next good ad, or you be the one that comes up with the next good thing that motivates the entire team, and share the information with your team. Be a part, be a team player. That is very, very important. So, all right, so be unstoppable, be a part, be an example of being committed. If you're building a team and you tell your team do such and such, but you don't do it, then you're not being an example. So anything that I tell my team to do, I promise you, I do not ask them to do anything that I'm not willing to do myself or that I have not already done myself. So be an example of being committed and pass that down to your team or your workers. You set the pace. Ask my team, Do I sit around just waiting for something to happen for them to do? No, I'm in the trenches every single day. I'm a 5-star and I'm still enrolling. I mean, I still post ads, I still enroll, I still work it just like I did when I was a 1-star or a senior associate, because I know what got me here and I know what I'm going to have to do to get to the next phase of this business. So you set the pace for your team. You set the pace. Don't wait for someone to set it for you. You set the pace. And if you're like me, I don't want anyone to outdo me. I want to be at the top. I want to be in the top. I don't want to be a lagger. So you set the pace. Mentor people. And one thing about this is, like, if you have a customer who gives you a good report, like yesterday I had several gave me, then you'd be so excited for them, but then say, hey, you need to share that with everyone and ask them to get it in your group, to share their testimony in your group. Or say, you need to share this with your family and friends. Do you have anyone that who could benefit from True Vision? Try to put it out there like that and get people interested in helping you sell the product, helping you share the product. So mentor people, love on them. Write down the ones who've given you a good testimony. Make your list. I'm big on lists, but go back to those people and, hey, how's it going? Have you had any interested? Can you think of anyone that could benefit from True Vision? But mentor people. Don't choke people with too much information. So like if a new person comes to you and they ask you, well, what is True Vision? And you just blah, 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 blah. Just give them, you're going to run them off. Too much information is going to choke them. Give them little bitty bits and pieces at a time. Do it like that. That will make them interested. It will also they'll want a little bit more. It'll make them hungry for more information. Look at some of my notes. Keep the communication lines open. One of the biggest reasons why systems have not worked, teams have fallen, people have stopped, is because of a lack of communication. So keep communication lines open, especially between you and your upline. Listen, we're all different. We all have different opinions. We're all made different. We have different personalities. Agree to disagree, but keep the communication lines open. Debbie's my sister, and we do not do things exactly. We communicate. We still agree to disagree. We still love each other, and we also respect each other. So I like green and she likes blue. That doesn't make me not like her, or I'm not going to talk to her because, and I know this is a poor example, but I'm not going to not talk to her, not like her because she likes blue and I don't like blue. I like green. So in everything, even in our teams and in our businesses, you're not going to 100% with everybody, but still, if you can keep the communication lines open, you go so much farther and things will be so much smoother for you. So keep communication lines open. I have people on my team that disagree with me quite often. I don't fall out with them. I just, I understand, why you feel like that. That's fine, but let's just move on. Don't dwell on it. Drama will kill a team. Drama will kill a team. You need to write that down. Drama will kill a team. Drama will also kill any business. So don't play with drama. Don't be involved in it. Drama will kill a team. Get your team or and you may not have but one or two working, but look for workers, but get them building and working with you. Y'all work together, and you will grow faster. The more you have working, the faster you're going to grow. But work together, build together. When I first started out, I was Jonathan's first enrollment. And I didn't have anyone to really work with. I waited 9 months actually to start the product after I enrolled. And so I didn't have anyone here that I could work with. But what I did was I reached out to side partners. So like me, Kathy Downey, Wendy Navarro, and Sherry Cerritos, and Jenna Malone, us 5. We joined arms. We made a chat together, and we promised each other that we would always support each other. We would not leave the other one behind. We would be together, and we have become just like sisters, and we're side partners. But they're my very best friends, and we communicate every single day. Everything that we do, we share with the other ones. I mean, we've created a bond. Hey, hey, can y'all hear me? Hey. Okay, sorry about that. I don't know why, but this computer goes off every time I think when I've been on about 30 minutes on a Zoom. I need to call Zoom. So, can anyone hear me? Wave at me if you can hear me. Okay. All right, so find you a partner. I think that is so important, and that is what helped me stick. This is whenever the business first started. The business was started in May. The Tree Vision started in May. I enrolled in September, but I waited until like the following June, July to start selling. So the business was a year old. So there was not a whole lot of people in the business, but I found my friends. We linked up. Right now we have a chat. We talk every day, all day long. We share everything that we do with each other. Find you someone to link arms with. I promise you it will make your business go a lot better and a lot faster, and you'll be a lot happier. Have fun together. Like I said, we celebrate each other's successes. Another thing is, don't pour poison downstream. So don't talk down. If something does happen on the team, don't talk it. Don't talk it down, especially. So if you have a problem, go to your upline, talk up, but never talk down. That can cause, like if there's someone in the business that's not very strong, it can cause them to fall off and to maybe even quit. So don't talk down. If you have a problem, if something happens, and for an example, I know most of the people here know that we have an awesome back office. Well, we've been building and working with this awesome back office for over a year now, and a lot of things, it's getting better, but there's been a lot of things that's not been real good about the back office that we've had to work through. But if I tell my downline every little thing that happens in that back office, or every little thing that I don't agree with, or every little thing that messes up, that's going to discourage them. So don't talk down. If you have a problem, talk up to your upline. Let me see. I hope I'm not rattling this morning. I wanted to do something besides just give assignments. Oh, this is another thing that I have, is take responsibility for where you are in your business. So like if you're not happy with where you're at, then it's your responsibility to do something about it. It's your business. So our uplines are very, very important, and I feel like that you need your upline. And I know I have some people that say, you know, I don't need my upline, and you may not need them every day, but there will come a day when you will need your upline. And so, but don't depend on your upline to do everything for you. Are responsible for your business, so you take responsibility for where you are. So I'm going to give you a little example. A couple of years ago, I was struggling, and I felt like the one thing that my team was missing was a training group. And so I had waited and waited and waited on a training group. Someone had promised me professional training videos, and so I was waiting on that person to get me the professional training videos. Well, I waited for over a year, and I never got the professional training videos. And so this person was very, very busy. But this is the thing. It was not his responsibility. This was my responsibility because it was my team. So one night, I was aggravated, and I knew that was what was holding my team back. And so I was talking with my husband, and I was aggravated, and he said, Darla, he said, this is how I feel. He said, I feel like it's your responsibility to give your team what they need to grow. It's not anyone else's responsibility. It's your business, and it's your team. So whatever you're needing, you are responsible for getting. No one else is responsible for giving that to you. And I thought about that, and I said, okay. And so I decided that I was going to make my own training group. Well, I'm not good with talking. I'm not good with words, and I'm not good with, especially with videos. I'm still struggling with doing lives, but I'm doing it because I know it's important to make my business grow. But anyway, I had talked with a person, and so she said, yeah, we'll do it together. I told her what Travis had said. She said, yeah, we'll do this together. Well, I waited on her for 3 nights, and she never showed up. She stood me up 3 nights we was going to do it at night after the kids got in bed. The house was quiet and everything. Going to brainstorm and was going to do our videos. So it never happened for 3 nights. So finally, on the 3rd night, I was so frustrated. And then Travis told me again, he said, you know, it's your responsibility. It's not that person's responsibility to even help you. It's your team, and it's your responsibility to give your team what they need to help them grow. If you feel like this is what you need for the next step, then you need to get it. So I said, okay. So my daughter and grandbaby was here. So that night, I waited until everybody went to bed, and it was about 11:30 before everybody got in bed. And when they went to bed, I got me a tablet and a piece of paper, and I got on my couch with my computer and my 2 phones, and I started writing down what I needed to make my training videos. I got me an outline, I wrote it down, and I started making my training videos. And when Travis got up the next morning at 6 o'clock, I was sitting on the couch. I had never went to bed. I was on the couch, but guess what? I had made my entire training group 6 videos. I had everything in order, and everything was ready to go. That morning when my team got up, they had a training group, and I did it. And it wasn't professional, but it was me, and it's worked for my team. And I've also had a lot of other teams, team leaders, that would come and look at my training group and then make their training group going by my outline. So what I'm saying is, I for several months, for over a year, I felt like I let me not having a training group slow me down, because I was waiting on someone else to do it when it was really my responsibility. And when I finally decided it's my responsibility, I sat down, I stayed up all night long, but I made my training group. I did all of my videos, and I had my training group ready for my team that next morning. So I wrote down, take responsibility for where you are. Take responsibility for what you need. If you feel like that you're lacking in an area, you write down what you need, and then you pursue that. You make sure that you get that. It's your responsibility. Talk with your upline. I'm sure they can give you some pointers. They can help you. They may even have the information that you need to do that. But you take responsibility for your business in your business. Um, Another thing I wrote down is life rewards those who look in the mirror. So let me say it again. Life rewards those who look in the mirror. So look in the mirror and think, look at yourself and think, would I hire me? Think about that. Would I hire me? Am I the kind of person that someone would want to hire? Would I want someone with my work ethics, with my abilities, with my personality? Would I want somebody like me on my team? Okay, I know you've probably all heard this saying, if every member, this isn't worded just right, but you'll get what I'm meaning. If every person in the church was like me, what kind of church would this church be? We've heard that. Okay, so turn that around and say, if every person on my team was like me, what kind of team would this team be? So take responsibility and look in the mirror and think, ask yourself, would I hire me? What kind of worker am I? What kind of team member am I? What kind of follower am I? Am I an asset to my team? Am I a weight, or am I weighing my team down? Am I holding them back? What kind of team member, team player are you? Think about that. Would I hire me? How am I doing on a scale of 1 to 10? Think about that. I mean, you know you better than anybody knows you. You know you better than anyone. So think about this. How am I doing on a scale of 1 to 10? If I'm a 1, I probably need to do a little bit better. So think about that. Would I hire me, and how am I doing on a scale of 1 to 10? I will look in the mirror daily and reflect on what's going right and what needs to be changed. If you're not coachable, you're not going very far. But if you can look in the mirror and you can say, so this is a little bit of something about me, and I don't like that. And I can say that, I don't like the fact that I hate doing lives, but I'm working on that because I know I need to do lives to make my business be successful. So I'm working on me doing lives. So another thing is self-development. For a long time, I didn't take part in self-development. I didn't think it was necessary, but now I know for a fact, in order to make it in this business, you need to do self-development every single day. So I'm working on changing the fact that I hate doing lives and that I didn't do self-development. So I'm working on those two areas for me. So you evaluate yourself, you know you better than anyone, and you work on the areas that you need help with. You change it. Success starts with a decision. And this is very, very important. Some of us are in this just to make a few extra dollars. We're not wanting necessarily to go to the top. So like some people are happy with just making $200 extra a month. And that's fine. You need those people too. But then some people are happy with some people want to make $1,000 extra a month, and that's great. We need those people too. But there's some of us go all the way to the top. So that's very important too. We need those people too. So how committed are you? And do you want to, your success will start with your decision. So do you want to just make $100 or $200 extra a month? Or do you want to make just $1,000 extra a month? Or do you want to make a 5 or 6 figure income a month? You decide, and then you go for whatever you decide that you want. Success starts with a decision. How important is it to you? Write your goal down. I commit to give this business all that it takes, no matter how long it takes, until I get there. I have decided that I'm going to do this business until I succeed, and until I succeed, I do not have an exit option. I wrote that down. This has been probably 2 years ago. I have decided that I'm going to do this business until I succeed. I do not have an exit option. That's something I wrote down. Let me look at the chat a minute. Okay, let me what else I have. Oh, make uncomfortable the norm. Make uncomfortable the norm. We don't like to be uncomfortable. As humans, we want comfort. I mean, we want everything just right. But in our business, we need to make uncomfortable the norm, the normal. Think outside of the box. Have goals. Be a product of the product. Make uncomfortable the norm. Think outside of the box. Have goals. Be a product of the product. If you're just like you're going with the flow, and so you look at your records, look at your numbers, and you have let's say that you have your business, you're enrolling one person a week. Let's say you average 1 to 2 people a week. Are you happy with that? If you're not, then you do something about it. When I started my 90-day push a couple years ago, one of the things, the very first things that I wrote down was I would make a sale a day, at least one sale a day, whether it was a trial pack or a customer, an associate. I would make one sale a day, and I wouldn't stop until I have it. Okay, let me say that different. I would average one sale a day for the month. Okay, I wouldn't stop until I had it. Then after I reached that and started that got easy for me. Then I wrote my goal was different. Then I decided I would do one trial pack sale a day and one associate a day for the entire month. I would average that. Some days you're going to do several. Some days you won't get one. But make sure before the end of the month is up that you average one sale a day, or like me, after I got that down, the next step was I made sure I averaged one trial pack sale a day and one customer enrollment a day. I'm telling you, it is very doable. And when you write this down, and if you can do that, if you can average that a month, I promise you your business will explode. And I've done it. I've done it for months and months. And so make sure that you write your goals down. But those are 2 goals that I used, and I've used them over and over and over, and I've stuck with it. And I try to average that. Even as a 5-star, I make sure I average that every month. Every month. Based on performance, would I join me? Based on my performance, would I join me? Would I want to join my team? Would I want me on my team? Based on my performance, would I join me? Treat your business like a business. I wrote down, if you'll do these things consistently, amazing things will happen. And they will. I promise you they will. So, okay, I'm going to give you, that's enough of me giving you little nuggets for today. And I'm almost finished, but I'm just going to give you 3 or 4 little pointers of things that I've been doing to help my business grow this month. So this, you may want to write these down. It's just some ideas that I had. So one of the first things that I started is, y'all know I make lists. I write down lists of everything. So every month I write down all of my enrollments and all of my trial pack sales, or I should say retail sales. So I have a list for retail sales and a list for associates. For every month I make a list, and each month I start a new list. So in my planner I have these lists written down. So what I started was I went to 2016, but you may want to start in last year, in 2018. But you just decide what you want to do. But what I did was I'm going to each month and I'm contacting the retail sales that did not become associates. I'm contacting them again and telling them that I'm still with True Vision. We're still having amazing results. We have some awesome products coming. We're doing amazing. And are they still interested? On all of the associates, a lot of the associates that I enrolled in 2016, or several of them, are no longer taking TrueVision, I'm contacting every associate that I've ever enrolled. So I started back in 2016, and I'm taking it by the month, and I'm telling them the same thing. Hey, I'm just letting you know I'm still with TrueVision. We're having amazing things happen. We've got amazing products coming. We're having amazing results. Just checking, touching base with you, wanting to know if you're still interested in the product. Just reach out to them some way and let them know that you are still selling TrueVision. And some of them that have fallen off, I'm already getting a lot of people come back that haven't bought in a year or so, 2 years, some of them. So that's one thing that I'm doing. Another thing is when you go to your customer group, if you go to members, click on members, all of the people that you are friends with in that group will come up first. Look and see, make sure that you added that person to the group and contact them. You don't have to mention TrueVision, but just say, hey, just check in, seeing how you're doing. Hope you have an awesome week. Just contact those people. I've been part of 3 customer groups, and one of them, another team has now, but I still have, I'm still an admin in that group, and I still have customers there. And I went to that group, and I'm telling you, there's people that I haven't talked to in that group in 2 years. And by doing this, I've been opening up the communication, building that relationship with these customers again. And I've gotten a lot of sales of people that I haven't talked to in a couple of years just by doing this. And what I do is that, like, don't go too fast. It's just like with everything else, pace yourself. But like, I write down the name of the last person that I talked to on that list. And then whenever I go back to start over, I start with the person under them on the list. And I'm trying to contact everybody in my customer groups. I'm wanting, just like it would be like your green dots, but you can just go by the list that's in your members in your customer group. Let me think. Okay, another thing is stock adding is something that we've started doing, stock adding. And this is how, there's 2 ways to do this. One of them is on Facebook, you'll see suggested friends will come up sometimes. I try to make sure that these people have at least 1 or 2 mutual friends, but if they have 10 or 30, then they're probably a TrueVision associate. You don't want to add them as a friend. You want to add someone who is not in TrueVision. But look for these people. What I've seen is if you have a mutual friend, a lot of times those people will accept your friend request. So I try to send like 4 or 5 friend requests to people that have 1 or 2 mutual friends a day. Write the names down. Excuse me. Write those names down, and then every few days check back and see if they've accepted your friend request. And when they accept your friend request, send them a message. And most of the time I send a voice memo, and I just say something like, hi, thank you for accepting my friend request. I love connecting with new people. Hope you have an awesome week. Something like that. Don't go and throw them right into your customer group. Don't do that. Just leave them as friends on your Facebook page, and they'll start seeing your news feed, what you're doing and all that, and then they will become interested. And then after they start asking questions, you can put them in your customer group. Tell them, hey, I have an information group. If you would like, I can add you to that support group. And that's how I get them in my customer group. Another way you can do it is on your phone. If you go, I'm going to show you on my phone. Hope you can see. Let me find. Okay, so at the bottom, I have an iPhone. At the bottom, you see these 3 little lines. Click on those lines, and you should have a list come up, and in that list is friends. You can see that? If you click on friends, then up at the very top, the very first thing is suggested. Click on that, and that's another way to find friends, suggested friends that have like mutual friends. Like I said, you're going to have someone accept your friend request if you have a mutual friend. And I've had several people like this that I would send a friend request to, and they would say, excuse me 1 minute. They would say, hey, I see you sent me a friend request, but I don't know you, or do we know you, or how do I know you? And I would say, oh, we have a couple of mutual friends. I've not had anyone that wouldn't accept my friend request when I said that. So if you have a mutual friend, it's easier for them to accept your friend request. Let me think if there's anything else I want to share with you. I told you about the friends. Let me look at a list. I wrote things down. Oh, one thing I wrote down is stay away from NIPA. Who knows what NIPA is? Who knows what NIPA, N-I-P-A? Non-income producing activities. So if it's making you money, then stay away from it. I have an associate who is an awesome associate. She is, I love her to death, but she loves to stalk people's profiles. So she thinks she's working, and she gets on Facebook, and all she's doing is she's just stalking people's profiles. That's not making her any money. So that's a non-income producing activity. She can tell you anything you want to know about anybody on her friends list because she stalks them, but she's not making any money. So if it's not making you money, then stay away from it. What's funny, she's very computer savvy, so she's my go-to. If I need help and I can't get my brothers, I'll message this associate because she knows she's very, very good with computers. But what's funny is she loves them so much till if she's not on Facebook stalking her customers, then she's on the computer seeing what she can figure out. So that's still not making her any money, and it's become a little joke with us. So stay away from non-income producing activities. And when you're supposed to be working, if it's not making you money, then don't thing with it. One thing I want, this is going to be an assignment for today. I want you to try something for me. Today, I want you to go to your customer group, and I want you to pour love on everybody that you can. Now, don't overdo it, Facebook jail, but it doesn't even have to be your customer. But if someone makes a post, if they post their testimony, if they asked a question, if just comment in the group, whatever, pour love on people, because you're building relationships. That's making people feel good. It's making them be happy. It's making them comfortable in the group. So in your customer group today, I want you to really work the group. Go to every post, go through the comments. And this is another thing, and just pour love on people. Just try to build those relationships. This is one thing I've noticed is if my business slows down, if it slacks off, then go to the customer group. I'm not doing something. So I'll get on Facebook. I'll go through my wall. I'll start commenting on my friends' post. I'll tell them how pretty their puppy is, how pretty their baby is, how I love their new car, whatever. I will find something to love on somebody on Facebook, but I will get in the customer group, start commenting, start posting, start bumping posts, and I promise you my business picks up every time. So if your business is at a lull, and if you're not moving, if right now you're slow, go to the customer group and start commenting and posting, and I promise you your business will pick up. Okay, I think that's all I have for today. I've enjoyed today, and it's been a little bit different for me. But this is just what I felt like doing today. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've gotten one or two little nuggets from it. And everybody go out and kill it, slay it. Let's make this month the absolutely best month of this entire year. So I was happy talking with y'all today. Thank you all for being on. I appreciate it. And you all have a great weekend. Bye.